Okay, so real quick before anything else, yesterday I posted my first video on this channel. 0 subscribers, 0 views, 0 anything. Just me, a disguised voice, and a story about making $86,000 at 21 while still sitting in university lectures I couldn't care less about. And now here we are, video 2. If you haven't seen the first one, go watch it. Not because I need the views, trust me, I really don't right now, but because it gives you the full picture of what this channel actually is and why it exists. This is an experiment, a 1-year experiment, and every single video I post here is a piece of evidence that gets revealed on my main channel exactly 1 year from now. But here's the thing I mentioned in that first video that I want to expand on today. This channel isn't just going to be about money and social media. I mean, yeah, that's a big part of my life and I'll talk about it plenty. But I'm 21. I've got a whole lot more going on than just YouTube shorts, analytics, and monetization rates. So on this channel, I want to talk about life, real stuff, the things that actually occupy your brain at this age, building something from nothing, figuring out who you are, dealing with people, navigating the world without a manual. And today we're talking about something that I think about way more than I probably should, dating, specifically how to actually talk to girls in real life without completely embarrassing yourself. Now, I want to be clear about something before I get into this. I'm not a dating coach. I'm not some guy who read 12 pickup artist books and thinks he cracked the code. I'm just a 21-year-old who spent a genuinely embarrassing amount of time being completely clueless about this stuff, figured some things out the hard way, and wants to talk about it honestly. Because here's what I noticed. A lot of the advice out there on this topic is either coming from some guy who wants to sell you a course, or it's coming from some street interview outside a nightclub in Miami, where the advice is basically be rich and be tall. And neither of those things are actually helpful. So let me just tell you what I actually think from my own experience. No agenda. Here's where I think most guys my age are going wrong. And I was absolutely guilty of this too. We've outsourced the entire thing to apps. And I get it. It makes sense on the surface. You open Tinder or Hinge, you swipe, you maybe match, you try to have a conversation, and theoretically somewhere down the line you go on a date. It's low risk. You're behind a screen. Nobody can see you fumble. But that's also exactly what's wrong with it. Because what dating apps actually do is create this completely fake, curated version of everyone. Every photo is the best photo. Every bio is the most interesting version of that person. And because you're filtering through hundreds of people like you're shopping online, you start treating people like products. You start expecting perfection. And the second someone shows one flaw, one thing that doesn't match the profile, you swipe onto the next one, and then that mindset bleeds into real life. You stop talking to people in person because why bother when there are supposedly thousands of options in your pocket? The girl at the coffee shop, the one at the gym, the one in your class. All of these real, available humans become invisible because your brain is stuck in app mode. I had this problem bad. I was getting next to no matches, and when I did, conversations would just die out for no reason. I'd sit there trying to figure out what I said wrong, second-guessing every message, and then just feel vaguely terrible about myself for the rest of the evening. Sound familiar? So, what changed for me? Honestly, I stopped. I just deleted the apps and stopped treating dating like a numbers game I needed to win. And I started actually being somewhere, physically present, in real places, around real people, doing things I actually liked doing. I got into coffee shops. I started showing up places consistently. I'd sit at the bar at a local spot with a friend instead of standing around awkwardly. I stopped going to bars I hated just because I thought that's where you were supposed to meet people. And the weird thing that happens when you do this, when you stop performing and just exist somewhere as yourself, is that conversations start happening naturally because you're relaxed, because you're not on a mission, because you're not walking up to someone with an agenda radiating off you like a neon sign. That energy, people feel it immediately. When someone is talking to you because they genuinely want to talk to you versus talking to you because they want something from you, you can always tell, always. So let's get practical, because I know that's what you actually want. You see a girl, she's sitting near you somewhere, or she's in your orbit in some natural way. You want to say something. Your brain starts spiraling. What do I say? What if she thinks I'm weird? What if... Stop. Here's the only thing you actually need to know. Talk to her the same way you'd talk to anyone else. Not like she's a prize. Not like this is an audition. Not like the next 45 seconds determine your entire romantic future. Just like a normal human being who you happen to find interesting or attractive. Ask something real. Something that's actually relevant to where you are or what's happening around you. Not a line. Not something you rehearsed. Just a genuine observation or question that a normal person would say. And then, this is the part people skip. Actually listen to what she says. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Don't be calculating your next move. Just listen and respond like a person. If there's something there, if the conversation flows, if she's engaged, if she's laughing or asking you questions back, then great. Keep going, see where it goes. And if it naturally reaches a point where you want to keep talking to her, just say that. Tell her you enjoy talking to her and ask if you can get her number. That's it. No trick, no strategy. Just honesty. And if there's nothing there, if it feels forced, if she's clearly not interested, just let it go. No big deal. Seriously, move on and feel good that you even tried. But here's the part I actually think matters most, and it's the thing that took me the longest to understand. The reason most guys struggle to talk to girls isn't that they don't know the right words. It's that they haven't figured out who they actually are yet. And that sounds like some self-help cliche, I know. But hear me out. When you know what you're about, what you actually like, what you're building, what gets you genuinely excited, conversations stop being performances. You stop trying to figure out what she wants to hear, and you just start saying what you actually think. And that authenticity is so rare that it genuinely stands out. I make sports content. I'm obsessive about social media strategy. I think about algorithms the way some people think about sports stats. These are not exactly classic romantic talking points, but the night I had the best conversation I've had with a girl in years, I talked about all of it because I was passionate about it. And genuine passion is interesting, full stop, regardless of the topic. You cannot fake that, and you shouldn't try to. So before you worry about what to say to anyone, figure out who you are and what you care about. Then just be that person out loud without apologizing for it. Now real quick, I said this last video and I'm going to keep saying it at the end of every video for as long as this experiment runs. If anything I've said sounds familiar to you, if a detail, a story, a way I described something makes you think you might know who this is, please don't say anything, not in the comments, not on other platforms, don't tag anyone, don't post about it. Don't even leave a vague hint that other people might pick up on. I know that's a big ask, but this entire experiment, everything I'm building here, falls apart the second my identity gets attached to this channel. The whole point is that this grows on zero reputation, zero borrowed audience, nothing but the content itself. If you know, just sit with it quietly. In about a year, when everything gets revealed, you'll get to be the person who figured it out before anyone else. That's your reward for keeping the secret. Anyway, that's episode 2. Next video, I'll probably get back into the social media and business side of things, but I want this channel to bounce around between topics. Life, money, people, whatever's actually on my mind. That's the whole point of this thing. If you're watching this and it helped you even slightly, that's genuinely all I wanted. I'll see you in the next one.